Tyler Ninja Blevins.
Hello everyone, I'm Panic, I'm Adrian, and I'm 2D special effect artist. Sometimes I'm creating character animations, as I did Tyler Ninja Blevins, who is a Fortnite streamer, one of my favorite obviously. And if you are interested in watching that little animation, I did a 30-second loop right after my speech, and after that loop there is a entire process recorded with my voiceover about how it was done. So we will have everything right in this video. Hopefully you will like it and have a wonderful day. Cheers!
Making the best of a bad situation in anticipation of brighter days to come. I'm just
Alright, welcome to my commentary video about my workflow, and I just created couple layers separate for each part of the face, which is eyes, mouth, nose and so on, to be able to make animation on separate layers and have more control of them. Because I created a sketch of that one pose earlier, I'm able right now to put clean drawings, still drawing, to each layer that I actually created. And that will be the base for all the animation when I'm creating just one layer, and in just a couple seconds I will create next key pose, and I will create three key poses to make in-betweens later on. And basically right now I'm just using pencil tool, and I'm editing that pencil tool to fit my drawing as much as it possible. I'm rounding the edges right now, creating an eyes and a little highlight in the eye, which is always great. Obviously I'm trying to don't make so much work, and if I can reuse and just mirror something, I will do it, even if it's just a mirroring and a tiny little detail, like a skew a little, which will break that perfect mirroring. That's so cool and profitable if you are talking in time, about the time management and speed up your workflow. Alright, so we got eyes, we got eyebrows, we got mouth, we got nose, we got three tiny little hairs that we will animate separately using deformers, as you can see, and for each of them I will do a little curve deform that I will animate later, and we have all the parts drawn on first frame. Now I'm just creating a second and third sketch, as I said before, and from that little sketch I will use it as a base to rest of my key poses that will be cleaned in just a second. And as you can see, I just changed the color to green because I'm using the green color, which works for me the best when I'm creating a black outline of everything. So I created another exposure, and on that next exposure I'm just trying to match my drawings to what I just drew to animate it later and make some in-betweens. And that's just a quick editing, not so much to say about it, just editing the curves, editing everything here and there to match the drawing. It's pretty straightforward what you have to do, just to sketch, snap that clean drawings to your sketch. And then when it comes to in-betweens, I like to show with pressing K that outline that creates the lines, and lower down the opacity so I can see using onion skin that thin line that is creating. If I will not lower down the opacity, it will be just impossible to see that tiny movement and the placement of the lines in the next and previous frame. And right now, because I have that tiny opacity on, I can make just a tiny movement which obviously speeds up my workflow. And what I'm doing right now is just 2 frames close to one pose and 2 frames close to the second pose, and the frame in the middle that will be more extraordinary, more speed with it. And with that, just a tiny movement, I will have super nice and smooth ease for everything, because you can see just a tiny movement on the first frame and much better on the next one. And then I have closed mouth and I'm moving it and snapping it to the next pose. It's really cool and easy thing to do, and I really recommend to try that if you have a little time, just to work on that pose-to-pose animation. And I obviously copied and pasted all the frames, mirrored, and I have that animation. And I'm right now I'm just creating keys for each separate parts, and the animation is like obviously just up down motion with squashing and stretching in the lowest and highest position, which will create a really cool animation. And from over like a 50 animation that I did already, for me it works perfectly, and I'm just creating it from my memory, obviously. And then I created some curves, so it will ease in and ease out pretty smooth, and it will look nicely. Then I'm going through the hair, and it's almost impossible to make them cool with just 2-3 keyframes, so I'm creating it more or less frame by frame with keys, as you can see. And that first is pretty hard to make because it's the first one, and when I did the first one, the second and the third one is pretty straightforward as well. You just have to create that motion and you can immediately remember what you've done. A little overlap here and there, and it will look nice and smooth. Okay? And once I have everything, I can enable the layer of the background, and here you have the entire animation of Tyler Ninja Blevins. Hey, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos. Check my other videos on this account, and make sure to check my other social media accounts. Stay awesome.